Gidzenko, and I will be your captain for today's flight. Today's flight is actually a request by David, who was visiting a couple of streams, and he suggested to fly to Newcastle in the United Kingdom. I immediately said, we're going to do this, and so today that's what we'll do. We will be using the PMDG Boeing 737-700 with Ryanair livery for the real-world flights from Frankfurt-Hahn to Newcastle, so from Germany to the United Kingdom. It will be about 1 hour 55 minutes time. We're using GSX real-world time and real-world weather and the Aerosoft SIMUL traffic tool. You can also follow my flight on Volanta. I put the link in the chat if you like that kind of thing. Alright, well, let's get in. We have Gustav standing here next to our aircraft. The time of his life. Actually, might not be Gustav. This is Gustav. Alright, so let's get onto the flight deck and get everything started up. So we do have the ground power connect. So batteries on. So we're just starting our cold and dark. Ground power on. Logo lights, anti-collision lights. Departure weather 260 degrees, 6 knots, bearing 210330, 10 miles, visibility, scattered clouds 4500, QNH 1020. The aircraft's loading up. We're starting up again. Get a little bit of work lights going, and then we'll set everything up. We'll fly to Newcastle. Clock out as well. So let's start the boarding and then see who finishes first. Pass on the passengers. Echo Delta Foxtrot Hotel. Now the position where we're at, not quite sure. Just check it here on Navigraph. It's calling 351. 3.
Boarding requested.
Block fuel 6.7, reserves 2.1. Check our LFP. Cost index 56, cruising 360. Tap to 360. Block fuel 6.7. Pan reserves 2.2. 2.1, 2.2, that's okay. Set payload, set fuel.
Do you want to board crew? Crew bus is coming.
parking was lagging there for a second. There's the baggage handlers, there's the crew bus.
Pilot's boarding starting.
So this is our route. Let's enter our departure and arrival.
Crew boarding starting.
So routing, departing runway 21, you RUDOT 1 Sierra departure. Then arriving, the ETSES 1 kilo for runway 25. ILS 25, ETSES 1 kilo. Zero transition is direct.
Your passenger's bus is coming.
So we have our route.
Passengers boarding starting.
So we got cost index 56, cruising 340 will be initial altitude, so we put that in here. Let's do it, I guess. 56, average wind 248.039.
Hello,
248.039.
hello.
Position altitude 5000, just keep that in.
This way, please. May I see your boarding pass?
I wonder if we import from LFP. Or from aircraft. Okay, so from aircraft we already have here.
May I see your boarding pass?
See what it does? Takeoff 1 at 46 degrees.
May I see your boarding pass? Good morning.
Giving us 88.8. We got 88.1.
Welcome on board.
Trim 6.28.
Welcome on board.
Flaps 1. 130, 131, 134.
Welcome on board.
6.28, 130, 131, 134. And the runway length remaining 124. That's the setup of the FMC.
This way, please. Hello. This way, please.
The aircraft just found its position with QNH 1021.
Hello, this way.
Turn on the flight directives now as well.
This way, please. Welcome on board.
Page 250 in the window.
This way, please. May I see your boarding pass? Hello?
Initial altitude will be 340. Just put that in.
May I see your boarding pass? May I see your boarding pass?
So vertical navigation, lateral navigation might not, yeah, I'll also engage it, that's pretty nice.
Welcome on board. Boarding pass, please.
So have a look at the taxi routing will be very simple at this airport, so runway 21 right there, push back nose to the left. Get onto Alpha, and just get us to the runway via Foxtrot. Now our departure. Of the RUDOT 1 Sierra. That's a right turn.
Passengers bus is
The
coming.
airport elevation actually quite high, 1649. That explains why the thrust acceleration altitude was 4,000 or 3,000. You can see here that's usually around 1,500 feet above the surface. If you look at our altitude, it's sitting around half of that, 1,600. You can start off the APU. Door damper can be turned on. Here's our APU. Cruising 340.
Passengers boarding starting.
Landing altitude, our current position would be 1,600.
This way, please.
Guess we're now waiting for the boarding to finish.
This way, please.
So we're using both entries, both aft and forward.
Please. Hello?
APU is on, so let's turn on APU bleed and APU generator, and then we can turn off ground power.
Good morning. Hello?
Ground power released.
May I see your boarding pass? Hello?
Are we carrying our fuel? 6.7. Seatbelt sign on, emergency exit on. The emergency exit lights rather, I should say. Cool. Boarding complete. That means that we are about ready to go. So let's set the parking brake and then we remove the chocks. Let's see if we can close all doors without GSX immediately reopening them again. So far so good.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Cool. Let's do it. The trim was... What was our trim?
Departure check completed. Light has been inserted.
Let's say 6 and 1/3.
Looking gear.
So nose to the left and tail to the right.
Release parking brakes.
Parking brake released. You will release for me, please.
Release parking brakes.
Try to work on it. Usually just press and hold the toe brake. There you go.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Engine number 2. Would be nice if we start to turn left any moment now. But maybe it's a bit to go. Okay. Engine number 1. This is our left turn. That is coming. And here's the fuel.
Set parking brakes. Waiting your confirmation for good engine start.
We can confirm right away.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Because everybody loves to disconnect, don't they? brakes to reject the takeoff. Flaps 1. Verify takeoff speed, so 130, 131, 134. Let's turn on our 3 gas.
Unlocking gear.
And now that we're on engines, we turn off the APU. First we turn on the main generator. APU bleed can come off. Let's use the packs for now.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed. Left is clear, right is clear.
Well, everybody loves clarity, don't they? So now we wait for Gustav to show us the bypass pin. Thank you, Gustav. Alright, taxi lights, another turn off lights. If I'm not forgetting anything, then we should go. Parking brakes released. Let's go to Newcastle. That was suggested by one of our viewers, David. Said, can you maybe fly to Newcastle one day? I said, let's do it, man. The taxi is super simple, we're just on Alpha, and that will take us to Foxtrot, I believe. It's just a straight line. We got some windmills milling. Okay, put the engines to idle. We're at the ground speed 18 knots. A little bit high for that fan. So here's Foxtrot. Let's turn on the landing lights. Position, slope and steady. And we line up. Runway 21. Alright, so let's start the timer. 50% and 1. We'll let the engine settle and take off thrust.
Airspeed's alive. knots. E1. Rotate.
Rotate.
Positive rate of climb.
Get up. sort of trying to follow the flight directors there. Actually, I forgot to turn off the tags, but that's alright. Let's have the autopilot take over. PMD. So autopilot on and one LNC enough speed. Turn off the runway turn-off lights and the taxi lights. APU, so that's turned off. Transition altitude. It's quite windy up here. Here is our flaps up speed. We lock the gear so the after takeoff checklist. Engine bleeds on, packs to auto. Engine bleeds on, the packs on auto. Landing gear up and off, flaps up, no lights. The landing gear is up and off, and the flaps are up and no lights. You can also turn off the auto brake. It's quite windy, man. Expected time of arrival 11:03. So it's in a little over 1 hour. I believe we can also put the navigational display down here. It is now showing engine. And the navigational display. And then we can have a look at our arrival. So we're clear for runway 25 at the moment. Let's get the chart for that runway. Approach at Newcastle. NDB ILS runway 25. And then we'll have a look at our arrival. So we will be arriving with the ETSES 1 kilo. Initial approach is up mob. We come from here, I guess. ETSES 1 kilo, that's our. So we come here, ETSES at 9,000 feet. We'll go 6,000 feet. Max 220 knots at ETS 02. Right turn 44 degrees for 13.8 nautical miles to the initial approach fixed for our runway 25. So we have up map right there, and then let's see the final approach chart. Center fixed to 5. We go plan. So how do we zoom in on this display then? Is it slaved to this side perhaps? Looks like it is. Interesting. So plan. We go to the next page and then we go to the final section of our flight. So the EDSI. We still have to look here. Okay. So EDSI. Then ETSES. And yes, 202, up, and then there is the center fix 25. So how far are we from the runway? We can maybe first create a 6 around the runway. The runway 25. Fix page basic. There's a little fix, but we also want a extended runway center line, and we want like at least one ring where the glide slope will start to take us down. You can find all this information on the final approach chart. The center fix 25. Actually be 2,000 feet over here at 5.4 nautical miles from India November Whiskey Charlie. So 5.4. And the reciprocal 066. So if we aim for up to 10625, that might be okay. Let's put a 15-mile range link as well. We could, if you wanted to, maybe just keep on going for a little bit longer and then turn for center fix, so we could maybe extend the up. If we go to the legs page, it'd be nice if it was actually quick. Now heading 044 degrees, we saw that here as well. 2 up, heading 044. We'll just extend that a little bit further. And so we say up, heading 044. And then an additional, let's say 10 miles, see how far that will bring us. And put that after up. Execute. You can always delete it, and then let's see what it looks like. That seems okay, and then up we can, let's do that. So after the custom waypoint, we'll take a left turn, let's just execute, let's see what it looks like on the overview here. Push step. I guess that's fine. Cool, we're at 25,000 feet. Getting our passengers and the landing lights, we can turn those off. Oops, landing lights. This one. Oh, this is the way to do it. I see now. Nice. We have our own button. So the pilot flying has their own button. And then it will probably be slaved to the primary, to this navigational display. Okay, that's pretty cool. I like it. Okay, so let's put this back on map view. Maybe zoom out a little bit. There is the top of climb in about, I don't know, 31 miles or so. So going up flight level 340, does it step up higher? No. 340 will be our top. To top of descent, 347 nautical miles, that's at 10:42. It's in about 50 minutes or so. Let's have a look outside. So we set up at least the approach bit. We'll also need to enter some data manually. Just for instance, you don't have to in the 777. You don't have to put in the ILS frequency. But in the 37, the 777 we do. This is obviously all on this chart. So our ILS frequency is 111.5. Course 246. So 111.15 it was? No, 111.5. And approach course will be 246. And there will be aircraft elevation is, let's put that at 250. Precision altitude 6,000 feet. Flight slope will start at 2,000. And the minimum, let's go for 100. I'm never too sure about which aircraft does what, but 100 feet, I'm good. It's a really tiny up here in the primary display. So it looks like we set that all set up. We're almost at cruising altitude. So basically we got almost all the data that we need. There's a DME, probably from some nearby station that it's picking up. That's actually BFS, you can see it here on the DOR. I think if we... We're rocking a little moon there, the corner of the screen. I always like to see the moon during the day. Alright, 10 o'clock. So touchdown 11:07. That's 1 hour 7 minutes, and the top of descent was at 10:43. That's 43 minutes. Let's have a look at the weather. arrival, Echo Golf November, Tango, 230 degrees at 9 knots, bearing from 140 to 300, visibility 10, scattered clouds at 3000 feet, 90 degrees, QNH 1012. Doesn't look all that bad at all. We're now at cruising altitude. Engines are at cruising performance. That is our destination, top of descent, like 30 minutes usually before touchdown. I'm thinking everything looking good. We forgot to turn off the packs for takeoff. The engines were a little occupied with taking off and supplying fresh air to the cabin. So curious about Newcastle. As I said, the destination was suggested by one of our viewers, David, and he said let's fly to Newcastle one day, and I was like, well, why not? Let's do it. Never flown there, as far as I know. At least not sober. I'm just kidding. And yeah, I don't think I've ever flown there. And figured, yeah, let's do it. So that's why we're choosing this flight. Ryanair apparently operates between Frankfurt-Hahn, where we just left, and Newcastle, United Kingdom. But I'm not using 37-700, that's what we are using. Other than that, about the real world flight, but pretty much. So curious to see how that's going to go down at Newcastle. But they have, it looks like they have ILS, which is always very nice, very pilot friendly if you ask me. I always get nervous when I have to do like RNP, RNF approaches and everything. Weather-wise, everything looking good. There's no precipitation on anything. We have the weather radar turned on. See, I believe I should have some window views made. There you go. There is a wing view. Do I have any other? Oh, why did I take these views? You don't see anything. Well, you have a good view of the flaps if you need. So I also started to share a link where you can follow the flight on, I forget the name, Volanta, which is an interesting app. You can check your flights, you can follow your flights there. It's mostly, I guess, in my case, useful when I go do a long haul flight and I'm going to take a beauty sleep in the meantime at some point, you know. But I figured nonetheless it might actually be cute to just include it into the chat section there, just so you can follow that flight if you want. Actually, I should be able, let me see if I can still do that. Mid-flight, there was also an overlay option, I totally forgot that. stand by 1 second. I'm just doing this off the screen. Let's see if I turn on the overlay mid-flight. Will it do that? Maybe not. I just don't think I see anything happening. Okay, let me give that another try. Laptop. So that you get something very ugly there. But there it is. Well, the ugly way did got us there, but it's saying tool not available. So probably have to update a couple of things here, maybe. But as I said, I'm quite new at using the lantern. We'll get it down. Let's have a look here. There, I think I needed to add my flight plan from SimRead. So now, the lantern knows where I'm flying and not only that I'm flying. So that's one thing, and there it goes, it updates immediately. That's pretty nice. I'm liking it. Cool, so we have a new spam element in our screen. Welcome spam element. So this weather report was from 0950. And there's no update yet, or is that way? No, 0950. So that's the weather we're going with for now. But we don't have to descend quite yet. It will be in about 30 minutes or so, I guess. 10:43. So 33 minutes. because we're in a draft page, we can set our final approach speed, but that number will go down. Not very much, because it's not a long flight, we're not burning a lot of fuel. But let's put something in to start with. So flat 40 degrees landing should give us final approach speed of 127 knots. There's a wind correction at 5. So that will give us 132. So legs page, this should auto update. There you go, 132 knots. And are there any altitudes we can? This should be flight level 090. I think we're good like this. Nothing to worry. So far so good, very nice. Wind direction 230 and we're landing at runway 25 and it's only 9 knots. Well, actually 9 knots is a bit strong, but it's not super. So runway 25, wind 230, so that's around here. After we touch down, we will vacate. I'm thinking to the right. Let's have a look at the charts here on Navigraph map. There's a lot more detail. So runway 25. We got apron Golf. General aviation apron. No, I guess we go to the main apron. There you go. So we'll vacate to the right, so we will aim for probably Bravo and an Alpha, and it will get us to where we want to go. There's not a lot to see outside. We're not over the canal yet. The Baltic coast, Western Europe. To 29 minutes until the top of the descent. And the weather report that we had was from 9:50. So if there's like a half-hour update, then at 10:20 we'll get the new one, and then 10 minutes later, as usual, we will be able to see it in our airplane in the simulator. As I said, it's just clouds below us. Wait, we do not see our passengers, do we? No. Now, I forget. Oh, we cannot open the door, can we, in the PMDG 737? There's no click spot, so we cannot open our flight deck door. Because sometimes if you do, basically the idea is if you do, then it will, GSX will start randoming the passengers. It's not doing that. I do believe when we check from the outside, we should be able to see them. There they are. think we should now be flying over the canal. Look at the road map. There we are, over the canal. So there's SASKI, SUMUM, EDESI, and then United Kingdom, and then there's our destination airport. Here it is, Newcastle. So are we flying to Scotland? Cool. Then we can get some nice whiskies there. I personally prefer Lafroig and Talisker. They're very good. But I must say I never drink them. They're not very good for me. But they're very nice whiskies. If you're interested in never drinking a good whiskey, like a single malt, then Lafroig is a very strong taste. Very smoky, very salty, if you will, but it's very good, it's a very, very characteristic taste. But obviously, you will need to like whiskey, but because otherwise you won't taste any different. It will just taste like medicine, you know. But they are definitely good. And all, lots of good whiskies are from Scotland, so there's the United Kingdom already in front of us. So 25 minutes to top of the descent. The weather report should be issued around now. And against better judgment and checking, but that will be another 10 more minutes. I'm not even sure if they have hourly updates or 2 updates every hour, or have hourly updates. Fuel carrying now 4.6. Expected to land with 3.6 remaining. And the IDESI still displaying 127 knots, so this number may go down maybe by 1 more knot or something. Since we're burning a little bit more of fuel. Fuel flow 1.14 for each engine. Turning for SUMUM, then Tosca, EDESI. So I'm excited to fly to Newcastle. Curious what it will look like. But at the same time, usually when landing, there's not a lot of opportunity for me to actually gaze out of the window, because there's a lot of things happening all at once, you know. But I'll be doing a landing replay after this as well. And then maybe there are some interesting things. Like some locations may have like this interesting landmark just nearby the airport, you know, that you might catch during the landing replay. But then again, you know, sometimes my graphics, I believe they're at like medium or high maybe, but sometimes it just all looks like crap to me. But hey, as long as everything works nicely, like the flight dynamics and everything, you know, then I'm already quite happy. 10:22. So 21 minutes before we start descending. Do we have a weather update? 9:50 Zulu. No sorry about, not yet. On our way to ETSES, 210 knots per hour, it's quite a stretch. In the meantime, there is our top of descent coming up as well. 10:24. No weather update. Let's get our descent checklist. Pressurization and landing altitude. So yeah, landing altitude. It was not quite sea level. What was it? .240. So we can dial in 250 as the nearest number. And then check the recall, the auto brake, landing data VRF at minimum. Here is about our VRF speed, that's now down to 125, 126 maybe, but still 127. Check the weather report. Still at 9:50. Well, I must say it's nice to fly like a suggested route, or at least a suggested destination. If there's any ideas, do let me know, and see what we can do. Always nice to have some ideas. What I will also do is they will probably general aviation aircraft flights from into the lowest airport on the planet, the highest airport on the planet. The highest, I believe, is at like 14,000 feet or something. It's really high. And the lowest was like, I don't know, 200 feet below sea level maybe. I'm not sure, I forgot. That's something that's on my agenda as well to do. Today, since David was asking in the chat, I believe 1 or 2 streams ago, he was requesting to land at Newcastle in the United Kingdom. So that's what we're doing. Was the overlay up there still making sense actually? Let me just double check here. Heading 317. Yeah, looks like it. So that's also nice, so that you get this overlay with that Volanta thingy. And you can connect to your sim read, so you can just import your flight plan in there and everything. And then they give you a link that you can share, so such as I did in the chat. can just follow it like on a map as well. Just here is to find out where we're flying. We're flying over your house maybe, you know. Or maybe we're flying over some place you don't like and you can tell me, hey Arkady, just go use the facilities for a moment. You know, all kinds of crap. Right top of descent, what is that, 120 miles maybe? 115. 10:43. Time 10:28. So let's see if we have a new weather report. This is at 9:60. Nope. We could also land without the weather. We'll just, you know, we could have a tailwind or whatever. We'll see. For now, the weather looks good. Looks in our favor for everything that we set up for runway 25. And it's a good practice to, what I try to do, to look at the airport diagram before you touch down. But you can sort of orient yourself after landing. Are you going to turn left, right, where do you go? And, you know, we are flying alone, so that, you know, we can just do whatever we want. But once you fly online on that sim or something, then it would be nice to keep things rolling, you know? So not to be that guy or that gal standing with the aircraft on the runway. With people on approach, you know, people lined up behind you to start to take off and whatever. And you're standing there orienting, okay, so where do we go? So this is our location, this is our destination, so cool, where are we going from now, you know? It'd be nice to just check ahead, so you have some general idea. So in terms of auto brake actually, so the runway 7,000 feet, yeah, we'll definitely reach Bravo there, I think. And otherwise we'll always have Alpha 1 to vacate. So for the auto brake, I guess auto brake 1 would be okay. So, let's see. Pressurization, we set that. A recall, let's check our recall. And where do we do that? This aircraft here. Nothing on fire. Auto brake, we set it to 1. Landing data 0 at minimum. Yeah, curious about the VREF speed. Now down by that 1 knot, 126. Here we have the old one, 127. We just updated like this. 126 plus 5 is 131. And that's also in the leg stage. 131 at both the final fix and the runway. See if there's a weather update finally, maybe. No, still at 9:50. QNH 1012. I believe we can pre-dial in here. 1012. Pre-dial. Position output, I believe, was 6,000 feet. Uh, 6,000 feet, position altitude. What's the missed approach procedure? You climb straight ahead to 2,500 feet or 4.0 nautical miles from the ILS, whichever is later, and then you turn right. Okay, well this should be another, let's just not do a go around. Really would like a weather update. There it is. Issue to 1020. So 220 at 9 knots, gusting up to 19 knots. Definitely quite windy. 220 is okay. Direction varying from 130 to 300. Visibility 10. Fuel clouds at 3,500. 19 degrees. 0.12 and then QH 1012, so that hasn't changed at all. So that will be our weather. Let's see what the time of arrival again. 11:08. Yeah, so this will be our final level report. No, we should be one at 10:50, but we'll get it later, so yeah. We'll probably get it like 1 second before we touch down, or once we're like rolling out like we did in Newark. So 10:33, so that means 10 minutes before we start descending. .44, we've gone up by 1 minute, 79 miles. So to what altitude shall we descend? We'll choose 2,000 feet to hold there. Definitely getting closer there. Yeah, we'll have our little moon with us. Getting closer and closer to the top of the descent now. Not descending quite yet. 10:44, 57 knots come out. We do have the latest weather reports, so everything is looking good for that as well. So let's take this baby down and get ourselves to Newcastle, United Kingdom. And maybe we can get ourselves some nice single malt whiskey from there. Just to say that Ryanair does use the 737, but I believe it's 737-800. Old-fashioned gamer, have a good flight, love the PMDG. Hey, cool man, nice to say hi, old-fashioned gamer. Old-fashioned gamer, hope you're doing well, sir. Or man. Welcome to the channel. Yeah, we're almost descending in about 10 minutes or so. Very nice of you to say hi. Very much appreciated. I hope you enjoy. So 47 nautical miles and we'll start to descend. As I said, we do have the final weather report. There will be one more report, but then probably we'll get it once we touch down. I don't know why that is. What is the delay? You know, the weather report is issued at 50 and at 20 for our airport every half hour, but then still it takes like 10, sometimes 15 minutes until we actually can see it updated here on the EFB for it. I don't know what causes the delay. Yeah, the PMDGs are really good old-fashioned gamers. I totally agree with you. I'm so comfortable flying these aircraft. I also have the 37-600 and the 777-300ER and F. I also have actually the PMDG DC-6. I do not fly that as often. It's quite a handful, but a very cool airplane. Which one is any one in particular that you prefer, old-fashioned gamer? I will buy this 777 soon for FS20, 24. Love 777, yeah, me too. It's an absolute joy to fly. It is so nice to fly. It is like, yeah, everything is like user-friendly, if you will, you know? And I do love that you have the COM display. You can have a COM display here in the center. And then you can have automated weather reports. Like we're doing now, we're just checking here on the EFB, you know, but in the 777 you can actually get automated weather reports from PMDG themselves or from VATSIM and all that stuff. For now I use often the 353-300 from Inibuild. Oh, cool. I know they have a 350 out, so they also have the 330. Is that also available for 2020? Sorry. The Airbuses are also very user-friendly. I must say, I've been flying so many Boeings lately that the Airbus starts to feel a little bit off to me. But that's a matter of repetition, you know, just keep on flying certain aircraft. And I know that I tend to do that on the channel. I've been flying one plane like, I don't know how many flights, and then another one, and then another one, you know. And then I sort of get, with each flight I get deeper and deeper into it, or at least more acquainted, I get reacquainted with it, I should say. Not necessarily deeper all the time, but the Airbus are absolutely, they pretty much fly themselves. There's so many things that are automated. Miles, the top descent. Like for instance, one difference with the Boeings and the Airbus, as far as I know, is the top of descent. Something that I really personally like very much in the Boeings is that you can set now the altitude lower than the altitude you're flying. So we set 2,000 feet here, right? Then we're at 34,000. Once you fly over the top of the descent, the aircraft will know and will just start to descend it on its own. And as far as I know, the Airbus, you do have to like select descent or open descent. So there's still some input required there. And I definitely love the feature that you just, you know, we're just flight simming, you know, so we have a lot of things to do when actually there's two pilots doing it. We're just doing it all on our own. So then it's really nice to have these quality of life thingies, you know, where you just put in descent altitude and it will just start descending for you. All those kind of things. So you can focus on other things at the same time, you know. 10 miles, so standing by. Start descending. Definitely some turbulence here. 73, 74 crosswind. Looks stable enough from this angle, I must say. So 1043. 5.8 miles. Yeah, I have to get back with Boeing. Sometimes just waiting for the 777 and relearn some basic. Yeah, that's so cool, man. So, and which 777 are you particularly interested in? Or is there only one 777 to be released at the moment for 2024? I do not follow what is released for 2024. I have no clue off the top of my head. But is there anyone in particular that you have your interest in? Here's our top of descent. So quickly check our descent checklist. Roll preservations and landing altitude 250 feet. Recall, let's check the recall once more. Auto brake we set 1. Landing data VRF minimum. 777 200, 300 long, all stuff, yeah. Cool, that is absolutely cool. We should have all the landing data. We have 110, 111.50. Let's quickly double check. One 111.5, 246. VRF speed that probably has not changed. Might not change anymore. We're still at 126. We got our precision altitude, 100 feet radio. And we have the local QRH 1012, but we'll only switch over at 6,000 feet. And then approach briefing pretty much been completed as well. We created an extra waypoint. Let's go to flight plan. Let's see, actually, can we now use this one here? Yeah. We zoom in. So what we just did, create one extra waypoint just to give us a little bit more 50% after ETSES. Okay. Well, so here is the up mob, and then we created out of up mob another waypoint there, just to give us a little bit more space and time to line up correctly. So that's pretty much on top of our descent briefing, I guess, or approach briefing. We should be configured at this circle. This is where the glide slope will start to take us down at 2,000 feet. So approach briefing complete, so that's cool. And then up next, our approach. Yeah, I'm thinking of some point probably getting the Airbus A350 by any build. But they're not cheap. And probably for a good reason, they're good aircraft. I started some stream for fun not a long time ago. Alright, man, see you later. Great landing. Oh, you subscribed? Thank you so much, man. Thank you very much, old-fashioned gamer. I'll check you out. Thank you so much for engaging, and you have a very good day, sir. Or ma'am. Thanks for saying hi. Alright, so let's get back to the map view. Well, let's get this baby down. So we're still, looks like we're correctly here on the descent profile, so that's looking good. Take care, old-fashioned gamer. Enjoy your day, man. Let's wave at old-fashioned gamer. Bye! Or bye. Or how do you wave? How do you wave for using a mouse? We could also go like bank left, bank right. Let's not freak out the passengers. It wouldn't be the first time that all the passengers just jumped, you know? Like, screw this, man. I'm taking my chances elsewhere. Alright, so cool. I'm excited to touch down at Newcastle, which was requested by David. So it was saying steep descent after ETSES. Hopefully that will not be a problem, otherwise we'll have a bit of a high energy approach, I guess. Unfortunately, we do have a headwind and with quite some strong gusts, up to 19 knots. So if we are a little bit fast, hopefully that will help slow us down a little bit more. The final approach speed is still 126. 3.3 fuel remaining when touching down, so we're burning another 300, so I don't think that number is going to go down much more. Time 10:49, let's just strap in our passengers. Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, this is your captain speaking. We have started our descent. Please return to your seats and make sure that your seatbelts are securely fastened. We expect to touch down at our destination in approximately 20 minutes. It will be a windy day. There will be a bit of cloud. The temperature will be 19 degrees. On behalf of Ryanair and the entire crew, thank you for flying. Alright, so looks like we got away with that one. Feet. So apparently the FMS feels like we'll have a very steep descent after ETSES. So what is this considering steep? I would think it's from flight level 09, or flight level 90 to 6,000 feet. I mean, if we look at the arrival chart, this is basically what the aircraft simply are supposed to do. So I'm not really sure, yeah, so it should be fine, right? So I don't know, is it like, is it a little bit, you know, overly cautious, being overly cautious here, I don't know. 12,300. with 10,000 feet coming up. Turn on the landing lights. APU. So I must admit something. It took me like, I think actually a couple of years to figure out, unless this happened in an update, during an update and I wasn't aware. But there's this button here. And this works like a charm. You can just turn them all off. Usually I would go like this, they go like this, and then you would misclick and you would zoom in or out, you know. I felt really stupid and very happy at the same time when I found out that you could do it like this. Okay, so the APU is starting up. Landing lights are on. The passengers are strapped in. I've addressed the cabin as well. Just check check our final approach speed. It's now down to 125 knots. So we'll update it. So we should see 130 on our next page. 130 two times at final fix and the runway. Cool. So let me start up the Sky Dolly program so I can record the landing. Usually I do it at the top of descent. But I only use like the last like 3 to 4 minutes anyway. So that's recording. That will allow me to make a nice little replay of the landing, which is always nice to do. So we're quite close to the airport, like thinking in a straight line, at 22 miles. So at ETSES, in about 2 miles, our speed should be below 220 knots, and we should be at flight level 900. And it looks like the aircraft is managing on its own quite well for now. Although we are actually planning at ETSES, not quite making that, but... And then up next, 220 or below at 6,000 feet. Could maybe put in a little bit of a speed brake. That's our speed brakes. There we go. So let's settle down in Newcastle and see if they have some nice single malt whisks for us. So David, not sure if you're here, man, and if you're not, it's perfectly okay if you have a life. But if you see this one day, this landing will be for you, my friend. So this should take us to Upmop. After Upmop we got our custom waypoint. And we're now at 6,000 feet. Standard is warning us, so we go to local pressure. 1012. That's on both sides. We're now almost to be in the airport. And the weather report was saying a few clouds at 3,500. knots or below at Upmop. Aircraft decelerating here a little bit. now we're being stonewalled by the lady. Let's turn on the wing anti-ice, the engine anti-ice. Cool, so let's do this, man. Back to the flight deck, stay on top of things. Drag required. Okay. We're aiming for 200 knots at UBM01. But basically we're not reaching that. We'll take a left turn momentarily. This gives also, this is the extra waypoint that we created, the custom waypoint if you will, just to give us a little bit more space to line up. Speed brake retracted. There comes our turn. Let's also turn on the runway turn-off lights now and the taxi lights. And I think we can also arm the localizer. The localizer armed in the right. Standing by for localizer capture. See if we can go flaps 1 with 13 nautical miles distance now. Not yet captured by the localizer. We do have DME 12.5 and we're below the glide slope as well. Go flaps 5 or flaps 2. I'm not quite sure why we're not intercepting the localizer.
Traffic. Traffic.
I don't watch your traffic. Localizer capture. arm the approach.
Traffic. Traffic.
That's 5. Here's our runway. Range 7.2 nautical miles. Drop the gear. Cabin crew, take your seats for landing.
Traffic. Traffic.
Well, any moment now we'll be captured by the glide slope. Glide slope captured. Flaps 15. Engine start switches to continuous relight. Speed brake armed. Landing gear down, flaps green light. So that's basically landing checklist complete. 4.3 nautical miles. Let's go final approach speed. Flaps full.
1,000.
Alright, autopilot off. Definitely some wind going on here. Let's not get too low. We just follow the glide slope. Runway.
Plus 100. Minimums.
Continue.
50. 40.
Idle.
30.
Lab.
20.
Full reverse. Welcome to Newcastle, everybody. Let's do some toe braking as well, so we can follow the aircraft its route. Flaps up, speed brake in. This should be taxiway Bravo, and it will take us to the main apron after that. So I can turn off the landing lights. It's a nice airport. As I said earlier, I've never flown here. So here's our gate. Overshot it a little bit, I think. Let's not kill him. Okay. We'll stop. Oops, that's the gear button. Parking brake set. And there's a jetway. That's also quite nice. Look at that. There we are at Newcastle International. David's Airport. The aircraft performed nicely. So that's it, everybody. I will now go get humiliated by the lady. And I would like to thank you very much for checking my video. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you to all Fashion Gamers for engaging. It was interesting to exchange some ideas about the aircraft. Everybody stay funky, man. Keep your loved ones close, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.